Listen, I love Palmer Williams as Floyd in the House of Payne series. Yeah, he was great in Love Thy Neighbor, but we know him most from, well, honestly, if I were to pinpoint my favorite role he's played, it was Tony Grant's character's father from the Marriage Counselor play. But I am just sick and tired of him only being relegated to the Sauce Boss barbecue business plot line, because it's something we've seen played out over half a dozen times in the show. Every time Floyd and Curtis are together, it's in relation to their business, them having a disagreement about it, and either them resolving it by the end of the episode, or they're right back to square one at the beginning of the next episode focused on the plot point. It's like I said time and time again. Floyd comes up with a great idea. He has opportunity where him and Curtis can appear on a news station, a YouTube channel, a social media, whatever, or a meeting with someone who's an investor. Yet Curtis will get too full of himself. It's essentially like Andy and Barney, with Curtis being the Barney of the situation, egotistical, full of himself, and then ends up ruining a good thing by the end of the episode. Because I believe I pointed out in my review that honestly, Curtis has sabotaged him and Floyd's opportunities of being rich. These two could have been probably close to, if not millionaires already, off of their barbecue sauce. But Curtis always lets his own selfishness get in the way, either because he doesn't give Floyd credit. What even worse is, rather than using an opportunity to talk about the barbecue sauce, he wants to talk about how great he is, how he made the sauce what it is, and that usually messes up opportunities. Yeah, I think they had like an opportunity to be on like a Shark Tank show. There was a person who wanted to buy their sauce for a huge price. I think there was another opportunity where they had a chance to get a barbecue restaurant off the ground. Then you got like that food vendor, not food vendor, but the big social media person who's like his whole platform was based on food reviews. Curtis offended him, but thankfully by the end of the episode they were able to make amends, and then that led to the business blowing up. But then Curtis got into it because he kept putting too much sauce in there, and when Floyd brought back some of the customer feedback, Curtis felt like it was an assault against him, and then these two got into a huge argument, and the business was dissolved because Ella said, preserve your friendship over the business or whatever. And yeah, it's stupid. Why not just have it where the barbershop crew comes back or something like that? Because at this point, I'd much rather have something happen where they missed an opportunity here. Where season 13, after Floyd and Curtis opted to go their separate ways, what if Floyd, I don't know, took his half of the money and opted to reopen his shop or something like that? Because he's a hustler. He's not someone who just sticks around, doing nothing, twiddling his thumbs. He's the one who goes out there to find opportunities for money. I feel like if nothing else, he would be the one to kind of reopen his old shop. And maybe Curtis, yeah, he has the sauce, but he doesn't have the business know-how. He's not business savvy like Floyd is. I mean, even Calvin took moments to talk about like, Dad, you really need to try to do social media, because your sauce is great, but you're really limiting yourself by not checking your emails or selling the product online. And those little things, it's like, oh, I ain't got time for that mess. Yeah, but that's the thing that helps you elevate, your product. And I think that over time, Curtis could find it's not easy doing this on his own, and Floyd brought more to the business than he was willing to give him credit for. And then have a moment where Curtis pops over to the barbershop and tries to, make amends with Floyd to go back in business together. I don't know why it's so difficult to like either recreate the set or something. I mean, you got a barbershop set for Satima. Why not just use that set? Say they changed it around for Floyd's shop, like maybe he bought a new shop or something, and you could have some cameos by some of the older cast members who used to work at the shop, or even a couple of new ones. I mean, obviously, not everybody from the shop is still going to be working there. I mean, you can have like at least one or two of them pop up. This will be a great opportunity to expand on the Floyd storyline, except for just using him for the barbecue thing. But then again, you go back to that one season where Curtis was MIA for an extended amount of time, and Floyd really kind of took his place. I remember at one point, fans were speculating, wow, do you think that Ella and Floyd will have something going on since Curtis has been gone for so long? But no, that wasn't the case. He was there to kind of, fill in the gap and have the conversations with Ella that Curtis would usually have. But yeah, I just really think they could do a lot more with House of Payne than they're currently doing. Like, as I said before, as a content creator, I cannot lie. Everything surrounding the Laura versus the Paynes has been good for my channel. Views through the roof. May has been a great month of ad revenue because of the House of Payne content. But this show needs to rely on more than that drama in order to keep fans engaged. Now, I've seen so many people saying like, man, I haven't watched the show in years, but this season has drawn me back in. They had so many chances. They could have done so much more to enhance the storylines for the other characters not named Curtis, Ella, Laura, Miranda, or Calvin. They could have brought back some of the older characters that fans have been asking for years now, ever since the reboot started. But instead, we're just getting the same old, same old. Now, mind you, we are getting new characters popping in and out. Like some are one episode cameos and whatnot, but at least they're there. But they really need to give more set pieces here. That's all I'm saying. So they should have really used the opportunity to get Floyd back in the barbershop, have Curtis, struggling on his own, realizing he wasn't built to do this solo, and as a result, bring Floyd back into the fold and then take their business to the next level. Because if they finally got their barbecue business off the ground or just sold it, that way they could do other things, I'd enjoy that a lot more than each and every episode these two are in together. They're just bickering about the same old, same old. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.